Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Finger Guns with Tony, Dave, and James. We are sans James today, but I'm Dave, and I'm here with.
Big Tony B.
There you go. It's so big. He needed to say it. He needed to say it twice. We just had the privilege of talking to Adam Rodness and Stu Stone from Don't Fuck with Ghosts, which is opening on Friday and will be playing in limited release in Canada. And Tony, I don't know about you, but I had a blast talking to these two.
I had an absolute blast talking to these guys. These guys were definitely fun. Don't Fuck with Ghosts is absolutely hilarious. These guys are so genuine and so down to earth. Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah. So the film is about it's kind of a mockumentary, faux documentary, and it's about two guys who want to put on they want to make a movie about Bigfoot, but they get conned or kind of get geared into making a movie about ghost hunting and proving that ghosts are real. So they go to Winnipeg and go through a bunch of haunted houses and haunted areas to prove that ghosts are real. And as we like to say, shenanigans ensue.
Yeah. I think one of the big things is if you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And boy, howdy, do they find out?
But yeah, this was a fun little Canadian indie. We both enjoyed it, and we love talking to Adam and Stu, and we hope you enjoy the conversation that we had with them. And if you're not able to see it in theaters, as Adam says at the end of this one, it's going to be on VOD and for rental on October 31st. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah. We'll be back very, very soon, guys. Take care.
Enjoy, guys.
We're living the dream, man.
Nice. I like the poster behind you.
Oh, is it there still?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that poster?
Yeah.
So congratulations on the film, guys. What was the genesis of it?
Oh, that's a good word to describe and get us into it. The genesis of this project, we did a movie called Faking a Murderer, where Stu and I were on a crazy hunt to find a serial killer. We make our friends and family believe that we're on this crazy journey. We're going to find a killer. We're going to be successful producers and capitalize on the true crime craze. That movie then got into the hands of a gentleman named Kevin Healy, who is the head of Kevin Hart's indie studio. And they're like, "Oh, we love what you guys did with Faking a Murderer. How about doing a TV show?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's develop a series." And then we got screwed over by the strikes and whatnot. But listen, we have this other idea. We raised a couple bucks to make another chapter of the Adam and Stu saga. We really want to go, find Bigfoot, and we got one about ghosts. Like, what do we do? And like, great, let's talk about those. So lo and behold, as you see in the movie, we actually were going to go and make this Bigfoot thing come to life, and then got the switch pulled over us, and we're kind of pushed into fucking with ghosts. But that's kind of how it all came together. We took like documentary and fiction land and what we know, and created this insane story about two filmmakers who have no business going ghost hunting and prove to the world that ghosts are real.
Nice. So that part at the beginning of the movie when you went in going for Bigfoot, that was legit. Like, that wasn't staged at all.
That's all legit. Nothing in the movie is staged.
Oh,
Nothing in the movie is staged. There's no dialogue script for anything that you see in this film. Stu and I create an outline. Stu and I know what we want and the arc and how we're going to get there, kind of. But anyone else who appears on camera with us has no idea what they're in for.
That's incredible. So you guys basically you improvise the entire movie.
Every bit of it is improv. Yeah.
Well, what about what about the ending? Is that a little bit like
Wow, 90% we'll go with there. If you watch Faking a Murder, which I hope you guys will check out if you like this one,
Yeah, definitely.
there's clearly like a way to tell these stories. You know, like Adam said, like we have a roadmap, but like you know, sometimes the road's closed and you have to take an alternate route to get to where you want to go. And it's exciting when we're going out to, you know, we knew that ending, that what we wanted to accomplish, but now imagine we go out with these ghost hunters and who knows what's going to happen. Like literally we didn't know. And those people are not actors. Those are not people who auditioned to be ghost hunters. Those are real ghost hunters and real mediums and psychics or whatever you want to call them. We went out into their world and tried to actually find proof that ghosts exist. So that's a shoot, as we say in the wrestling business. That is a shoot. You know, and that's the line that gets blurred, and that's the magic of sort of our kind of movies and the lane that we're trying to create. You know, you watch Borat movies, and if you can remember the first time you saw Borat, you were probably like, "Wow, you got to see this! You can't believe what these guys did." But like when you watch Borat, you know that it's a Sacha Baron Cohen playing a character, and he's messing with people. We're not playing characters. Adam and I use that same type of storytelling, but we're Adam and Stu. Like we're not like putting on a character. So it's like the people who are interacting with us, the people who are flipping the channels that land on this show, this movie, they're going to believe what they're watching is a real thing because it is real for most of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so it's really, it's a tricky line. You end up shooting like, you know, 200 hours to make an 88-minute movie. But you know, at the end of the day, you're trying to the magic trick is trying to make people feel like they're watching something real. And in order to do that, it has to be mostly real.
Awesome. That's amazing. You definitely accomplished it.
Yeah, you definitely succeeded on that front. Were you guys always going to shoot in Winnipeg, or was there a reason you shot in Winnipeg?
I mean, Winnipeg, who doesn't love to be in Winnipeg at any time of the year, right? Winnipeg offers the movie is so meta. When we go to meet with our lawyer, like Winnipeg, it's because of the tax credit, because of the way that we could finance our movies. It's because the crews are more affordable and more readily available. Like all that stuff played into why we had to go to Winnipeg. And we actually made another movie in Winnipeg called Bandits a few years back. And we had an interesting experience. We got our gear stolen the night before we were going to camera. You know, we had to make the movie with like 2 lights and like, you know, a piece of wood holding.
You would think that would scare you away from a city when like they steal all your gear, but not us.
That's incredible.
So
that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, but Winnipeg is a great backdrop, and it is the murder capital of Canada. That is a real stat. There's a lot of crazy haunted stories that exist within that city, and we use that to our advantage and had it as our playground.
Amazing. And how did you find that house?
Oh my God. I'm going to have to give that credit to our locations manager. Her name is Karen Tusa. We went on scouts finding houses that were, you know, again, affordable.
The first movie Adam and I ever made was called The Haunted House on Kirby Road. Don't necessarily recommend that, but it's our first effort. And how we made that haunted house was my sister, who's Adam's wife in real life, is a realtor, and she had a client that was like just bought it like a teardown. And so we were like, oh, well, let's go into that teardown and we can like fuck it up and like make ghosts and make it all haunted and put holes in the wall and do whatever we want in there. And the guy was like, sure, I'm tearing it down anyway. So we told Karen like, hey, we want to build a haunted house. Like we've done this before, like find us a teardown and let's get in there and do it. It turns out that the house that she found actually had a backstory, that like a guy murdered his wife and his kids in the house. And it was like, what? We didn't know that. And so, you know, like it's just so meta. I hate to use that as like, oh, it's so meta, but it really is. Like how to make a movie. This is how it is done. This is what you don't see when you're watching a reality show or a documentary. Like you see this polished final piece. Our movie shows you everything, warts and all. You know, it's like pull back the curtain. It's like the Wizard of Oz is there, and he's like, "Come on in." It's it's a very unique way of filmmaking that I feel like Adam and I are really trying to like almost try to perfect it. Like, this is our lane. This is our voice. This is how we can differentiate ourselves from all the other stuff that's coming out or going out, is to do, if we do things this way and we're consistent and we keep delivering, which I hope we can, you know, there's going to be a whole collection of these movies that you'll be able to watch.
I mean, I've already perfected it. He's still learning, but I got it down.
That's awesome. So going and how you guys film and do that. I was wondering, what were some of the big challenges that you guys faced when you were filming? Like, you guys are filming in a lot of tight spaces and stuff like that. I was trying to figure out what cameras you were using. I work in a camera rental house, so I was trying to find that little tidbits. But yeah, so what kind of challenges did you face, and what kind of cameras did you use to help you guys in those tight spaces?
We had in the tight spaces, we definitely had like GoPros and stuff like that. And we had body cams. We installed cameras all over that house for sure. There's a crew of it's a skeleton crew, you know? So as tight as the spaces are, it's a skeleton crew, and they're not only, they're in there with us. they're on camera. They're part of it. The cameras that they're holding are on camera. You know, it's like, I actually purposely like showing the crew because it adds to that realism. You know, it's like, if the audience can see the crew, like, it's like they're in on the fact that this is actually happening. You know what I mean? I want to see the sound guy. I want to see it in the shot, because it just adds to the whole experience and the realism of it. It's funny.
They're going through the shit with you, right?
Yeah. I mean, Adam mentioned it previously, but our last movie we shot in Winnipeg was called Bandits. And we mentioned this in this movie, but the day before we started filming, our gear truck got stolen. We could have used you there at your house, but literally everything was stolen. So, and we still had to make a movie the next day and for the next month. So, you know, you sort of have to be prepared for anything, and you have to sort of be able to make lemonade often, no matter how many lemons are delivered. In that instance, when all of our gear got stolen, we pivoted, and instead of crying, we were like, well, let's tell the press, let's make this a thing. And that's what we did. And it became a huge story and got the movie so much coverage because of like this unfortunate incident that we made fortunate. And you have to sort of be prepared to do that, especially when you're out there looking for proof that ghosts exist. And like, that's the premise of what you've sold your investors. And, you know, you're going out there and you're like, you know, struggling to sort of make it happen.
Of course.
Yeah. You know, every day you get back to the rental, and you're laying in bed and you're thinking, oh God, what did we sign up for? What did we promise these people?
I think in a more technical aspect, though, we shot on the Sony FX9, which was, we had two of those guys running. They're great, you know, ENG type cameras that let you kind of go and run and gun all day.
Yeah, those the lightweight cameras for sure. They'll definitely be
lightweight. They have like a built-in like ND filters in there, so you kind of go indoors, outdoors as it goes, and it kind of, you know, allows you just to be really active. Because these camera crews are literally following us wherever we go. Yeah. There's no like, okay, let's stop and start, and here's a slate. Like, that doesn't exist. Like, we are just like, we're going. It's run and gun.
Yeah. Nice.
So is that guy's name actually Kevin Bacon then?
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yes.
His name, our sound guy's name, is actually Kevin Bacon. We found that out as you see it. We like literally on the call sheet, did not even take a look at the call sheet until we had to. And we're like, what? That is a perfect storm. And obviously we ran with that one. I mean, that was,
you had to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so stupid and so funny. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, just his lines up so nicely.
Amazing.
And then how did you guys get Michael Rappaport involved?
Mr. Rappaport, him and I were actually working together on a TV series that was in development. Unfortunately, the series didn't get to go to photography, but we remained friends and, really enjoyed each other's company and creative. And we're like, we just got to do some stuff together. So we kind of started pitching around different ideas to each other and brought Stu into the loop. And, Stu and Rappaport, actually, you guys did an episode of Boston Public back in the day, right?
He played my teacher when I was like a child actor on Boston Public back in the day. But Rappaport's the man. He's definitely he's
the best
legendary sort of figure. He's outspoken for sure. But one of the things that he's outspoken about is his love for our movie Faking a Murder, which he saw and he loved, and he wanted to get down with us. And he was supposed to come on a ghost hunt with us in this movie. It didn't work out because he ended up, but we still worked it out. But Rappaport's the man, and he is definitely a supporter of ours, and we're a supporter of his.
Easily. So this is a bit of a fun one. What for both of you can answer. What was your favorite scene to film?
Good question.
I like going on the ghost hunts because I didn't know what was going to happen, but I will say that filming with Sherpa Steve, that was my favorite.
My favorite was doing the audition sequence and auditioning for Ghost Number One. If you remember that, when we brought all the actors in and had people do their, rendition of trying to be a ghost. That was I was dying of laughter all day.
But like the Sherpa Steve scene, we had a mansion and we had Steve, and that was it. We didn't tell him anything. He didn't tell us anything. We just went in and just that's what happened. And it was so fun. It was so fun.
Yeah, the Sherpa Steve scene definitely looks fun. And the auditions cracked me up too. I remember cheering at the screen when you guys did the reveal that it was Noah in the costume. I was like, oh my God, he comes back.
That's amazing.
He was such a cute character. I really enjoyed him.
You know what? And that's the stuff that I love hearing, because we haven't screened this for the public yet. Stu and I have only watched it 85,000 times. So it's we're so in our heads about it, but to hear an outside perspective and for you guys to connect with those characters and people and, the situations is awesome. So that makes me happy. That's great.
I loved Steve the Sherpa too, or Sherpa Steve. He was definitely my favorite part as well.
That's great.
So the Bigfoot project, that's what's next.
Yep.
That's what's coming up. We're just getting our ducks in a row. We're probably going to go out and start shooting that next spring. So I would say hopefully by 2026, there'll be a Bigfoot sighting near you.
Fingers crossed. We'll definitely be looking out for that one.
For sure.
Awesome, guys.
The Baldwin brothers. We always wanted to talk to you guys.
We always wanted to talk to you guys.
We always wanted to talk to you guys.
What's happening here? Is that
that's like a Kevin Bacon? That's like a Kevin Bacon kind of thing. We could use you guys in our next movie, just as the Baldwin brothers are coming, and then you guys show up.
I'm there.
We're there. We're there, man. Just give us the call.
Where are you guys from?
Hamilton.
The Hammer.
Yeah.
Are you guys and wow? Are you guys? Trying to think. Are you guys
closers?
You guys closers?
I wish. No, we're just two boys from the mountain.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And Baldwin is our last name.
I love it.
Everybody's always asked us about that, but that's our last name, and we're not twins. He's 3-4 years younger than I am.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. We say we're Irish twins 3 years apart.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, hey, if you guys are in Toronto Thursday or Friday, we're doing the big premieres on Thursday, Yonge and Dundas Square in Toronto, and there's a second screening at Cineplex on Friday, and it's all going to keep running. But spread the word.
Advertise to the press that the Baldwin brothers are going to show up and
maybe, yeah.
Now we have to.
Now we have to do it.
Now we have to.
But honestly, thanks for the love. Thanks for watching the movie, and thanks, for the support of the movie. And it's so important, the role that guys like you play in something like this, because we are underdogs in the grand scheme of things. So it does take a village, including guys like you, to get the word out there. That's part of this. How are people how no one will watch the movie if no one's telling them to watch it? So thank you very much for helping us with that. And I know you don't have to do that, so it's appreciated.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time out to talk to us, and good luck with the film.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Make sure. Yeah, I was going to say, Stu's going to interrupt me. October 31st, Halloween. You can rent or buy it. Amazon Prime, Apple TV, wherever you do buy or rent movies.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing it.
It sounded really good.
Actually, you killed it there, pal. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing it. We love the movie, and thank you for taking the time for us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot,
boys. Take care. Thank you.
You too.